radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah. Today is Thursday, November 12th, 2020. 317 days into the new year. Only 49 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of beautiful downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? All right. It's Thursday. It's Fadernight. Yeah, man. We made it. It's Thursday night, Fadernight. Open lines all night long. Of course, the call-in number is 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. All right, we'll open up the phone lines at the bottom of the hour. Oh, man. I think I'm going to start off here. I think I'm in the mood to go guitar shopping. Yeah. That's where I'm at. That's where, when all else fails, go guitar shopping. And I found a couple of guitars that I really, really like. Not expensive. Nope, but really cool. And it's really funny. This is what I did. I'm going to tell you how I do it. So a couple of months ago, this guitar gets released, and Rita stops by the bunker. She comes in and catches me looking at it, right? I said, yeah. What do you think? Yeah, that really looks nice. I said, look at the price. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. And I didn't make my move. But you plant the seed, you see. You get her approval. It's nice. Yeah, it is, isn't it? So, there you go. Oh, man. What are you going to do? Tonight's Thursday. It's Fadernight. Really looking forward to the show. That Thursday night is the best night of the week, not only here on Fade to Black. And if you think about the shows that we did this week and how incredible they were, and last night with Scott Wolter, Scott calls me up today. He's on the road. He's heading down to the southeastern part of the United States on his treasure hunt. It says, hey, man, I just wanted to call and say that, after the show, we're on the road today, and we don't normally do this, but Jan and I went back and listened to the show, and it was really good, man. I said, it was. That was a great show last night. And so where am I? Do I come into Thursday night going, oh, man, how do I top last night? Well, it's Thursday night. So excited. I'm just looking forward to tonight all day long. Had a couple of interesting conversations today with some researchers out there and contactees. We've got a couple of really, really cool shows coming up, and I want you to get ready for that. And I can't believe that it's Thursday. I already know what's going on next week, and I'm just saying, we've got some really cool things coming up. So get ready for all of that. But tonight, it's Fadernight. 747-228-2051. We'll get to the calls at the bottom of the hour. Today, I started to move some of these skulls out of here. They're heavy, and there's a lot of them and things. But 2 are staying. Ingve's going to stay. He's going to stay right here. And Zeus is going to stay. So I've got them positioned, and this is what I did to elevate them. I wanted to show you guys something here in the bunker. This is Ingve. Man, that's a heavy skull. Pyrite. This is my. It's pretty cool that I'm able to do this. This is my skull stand. You ready? The original edition of Behind the Flying Saucers by Frank Scully. Look at that, right? Hardbound, absolutely incredible. First edition. And, whoa! Oh. I can't believe what just happened. Live on camera. I was just flipping through. And look, wrinkled up. The book is some money. You know who gave me this book? Eric, Awakening Man. It was a gift. And apparently, Eric, did you know that you left $11? All right. It's Taco Thursday. Wow. Is there any more money in the book? No. Wow. If I hadn't, you know what? This is what's funny. If I hadn't pulled out the book right now to show you guys what is my skull stand, right? Behind the Flying Saucers, Frank Scully, original edition, gift from Eric, Awakening Man. If I hadn't done that, I would have never opened it. And these skulls would have been sitting on top of this book forever, and that money would have stayed sealed up inside of it. And there you go. Eric right now is going, that's where that $11 went. I was looking for it. Love it when that happens. Do you like it when you open up the washing machine, right, or the dryer to pull out your clothes or move the clothes over, and you look in, there's money? You're like, oh, dude, it could be $2, and you're just happy, and you don't tell anybody either. You never tell anybody. $20, you just put it in your pocket. You don't say anything. You're hanging out in the kitchen like this has never happened to me, right? Speaking from experience. You know, you're in the kitchen, you got the $20 in your pocket. You hear the conversation. Man, I lost $20 a couple of days ago. I've been looking for it. You don't say nothing. Tacos on Eric. Absolutely. All right. So, yeah, Crystal Skulls. EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Go see Carolyn Ford. And you want one. Look at Zeus. Look at. I remember when we first got Zeus. I looked at this skull for like 3 days. I just look at that. Incredible. All right. EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Very, very simple. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. I tell my husband whatever I find is laundry fees. I keep it. Okay. No, I'm not kidding, Eric. This money, it's $11, was in that book. Frank Scully, Behind the Flying Saucers. You remember when you gave me the book, right? Come on, Eric. No. It happened. Oh, man. Where am I at? Breaking news. All right. China sent the world's first 6G satellite into orbit on a Long March 6 carrier rocket to test the 6G technology, which could be more than 100 times faster than 5G. Yeah. Right. Okay. I've made the announcement. I'll let you guys fill in the blanks. China led the world in the number of launches per year in 2018 and 2019. It is upping the stakes in the space race by launching 32 rockets so far this year and could hit 40 by the end of 2020. And that's all the breaking news I got tonight, man. That's enough for me right there. Let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to today, Wallace Shawn, my man. Inconceivable. That's right. 77 years old. And you know what? Inconceivable was something that from The Princess Bride, one of the greatest quotes in all of movie history. But is it as good? I want your Wallace Shawn quotes right now from Princess Bride. Pop it up there on Twitter. I want to see what you got. Because the other one for me is, you never mess with a Sicilian when death is on the line. Wallace Shawn, today, 77 years old. Anne Hathaway today is 38. Ryan Gosling is 40. Now, he didn't make it because of some Lifetime movie. He made it because the dude is funny, and he's a great actor. Neil Young today is 75. And one of a true music legend, and icon, Booker T. Jones of Booker T. and the MGs today is 76 years old. Incredible. Green Onions, played on, you think of all the Stax vault, everything. He played on everything from Stax. Otis Redding, Sam and Dave, everything. Booker T. today, 76 years old. Buck Dharma. That's right. Buck Dharma of Blue Oyster Cult today is 73. Is Buck Dharma the most overrated guitarist in music history? Is he the most overrated? Is he more overrated than Keith Richards? Is he more overrated than, I'm going to leave it right there, Ace Frehley? Megadeth's Dave Ellefson today is 56 years old. On this day in history, OTD 1799, the first, it's 1799, listen to this, the first meteor shower on record is documented by astronomer Andrew Ellicott, who witnesses the Leonids meteor shower from his ship off the Florida Keys. It just doesn't make any sense, does it? But that's it, 1799. Fader fact. All right. Now, I want you to go and look this up. This is very interesting. And the theory and the proposed numbers here of the Toba volcano are now established fact. And the theory behind it is very controversial. But I'm going to lay it out there right now. And that theory is that humans almost became extinct about 70,000 years ago when the total population of the world dropped below 10,000. Some say as low as 2,000. 2,000 humans on planet Earth. Because around 73,000 BC, a volcano called Toba on Sumatra in Indonesia went off, blowing roughly 650 miles of vaporized rock into the air and dimming the sun for 6 years. No crops, no vegetation, animals, everything. And that is crazy. So if you want to look at the Toba theory, go and look it up and jump down that rabbit hole. Tonight is Fadernight. It's open lines all night long. The call-in number is 747-228-2051. Now, let me hit inconceivable. Oh, man, it's the best scene. Have you ever heard of Plato, Aristotle, Socrates? Yeah, that's good stuff. rivermooncoffee.com. Promo code F2B Blend, 15% off of your order today. All right. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding, Eric. $11. $11 found in the book. Maybe he didn't put it there. Maybe it was from somebody else. They're new dollars, though. That's a new $10 bill, so it's not Frank Scully, which that would have been cool. Okay. All right. This all happened today, by the way. I went back and reviewed a few different articles about the current state of the U.S. military's plasma technology. And I started looking into this because I was watching some sci-fi, which I do every night, drives Rita crazy, but I'm a big sci-fi fan. And watching this on TV, and I watched this pretty cool shootout with some small handheld laser weapons. Pew, 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 right? Or maybe I thought, this is what went through my mind. Maybe they're shooting plasma bullets, right? And I started to thinking that could we actually develop something that was the size or even the look of like a semi-auto 9mm pistol, like a Glock, or mini Glock, but fired short burst of plasma-sized ammo or bullet-sized ammo, right? Battery in there. And is that possible? Not lasers, not that, stun. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about current technology because I know that plasma cannons and things have been developed and tested. So today I jumped down the rabbit hole. And one thing is for sure, our military is fully engaged in this arena, the plasma dome. Now, to generate the energy required to make a plasma discharge, a plasma bullet, a high current, high voltage source, and a large capacitor bank are used. And now to put this into a pistol, I don't know. It seems like you'd have to have a backpack and a cable, whatever. But both are attached, this electronics, to an electrode system in the gun's barrel. Okay? All right? The capacitor is loaded. Capacitor is basically a battery, right? Is loaded with a high a voltage as possible. But this tech is here and now and is a reality. But the clear disadvantage of this plasma gun is its weight. A foot soldier, right, could not carry a plasma weapon powerful enough to be useful, be too heavy. So I was kind of bummed out, and there goes my small pistol idea that I was thinking about. But anyway, it's at this point my journey down the rabbit hole took an interesting turn. And it is this. The military is currently developing plasma tech to create images and objects suspended in midair. Now, the articles about this have surfaced over the last couple of years, and I have talked about this on Fade to Black from time to time. And this kind of technology could be used for many different applications and scenarios, such as faking out an enemy's radar system, right? And that has been talked about. I think it's been in use. How about creating phantom aircraft? Flying along, you're a pilot, and you're being chased by another plane, and you don't know if it's real or not. You're assuming it's real, but there's an application, right? Or even fake tanks on a battlefield, right? Fake tanks that don't exist, but you see them. Night vision, glowing plasma, you freak out, right? Or how about a giant alien flying saucer in the clouds? Oops. Did I just say that? I did. And yes, this has been proposed many times, things like Project Bluebeam. Now, let's put Project Bluebeam to the side. That's a whole nother discussion for another time. And the theories behind that. But let's go back to the military, and specifically the United States Navy. That's right. The Nimitz encounter and the Tic Tac. Now, I'm not going to reference the 3 videos. I'm not going to do it. I want to address what was witnessed by Pilot David Fravor and the rest of the testimony brought forward by various pilots and crew members, USS Princeton. They saw something. USS Princeton radar operator said that an object went from 80,000 feet to sea level in a matter of a second or two, right? And similar radar tracking events happened over a 2-week period. All of this was reported. We've got the testimony. I get it. Now, to be totally transparent on the issue, if the Tic Tac was an actual physical object, then someone has anti-gravity tech and is totally beyond anything that we know about in the public domain. This much is for sure. Right. Or, and this is not that big of a leap, by the way, or the tech is here, that maybe the pilots and the radar witnessed a projection. It certainly looked physical, because it kind of is. Looks real, because it's real. It's a real projection. And it was observed and tracked on radar. It's what it's designed to do. Remember what Fravor said, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it went something like this. He said, and then it just shot off and was gone, right? And we're talking about an experienced pilot here. What did he see? And for that description, right? What did Fravor see? Before we take that giant step to UFOs and ET or back-engineered alien tech, maybe, just maybe, it was something much more simple. And technology that is currently being developed and or is currently deployed. Plasma laser 3D holograms. Now, how fast could these images, these projections, move around? Well, I'm not totally sure, but stationary and up to the speed of light come to mind. We've all heard it, right? How can an object with no wings or visual propulsion system go from 80,000 feet to sea level in the blink of an eye? Well, a plasma laser 3D hologram could. And it could do it without wings. What about the reports of it going below the surface of the ocean and bubbling? right? Well, that kind of sounds like a rapidly cooling blob of superheated plasma to me. I could be wrong, but think about that. I know what you're thinking. You're going, hey, Jimmy, didn't it rise out of the ocean and fly away? Yep. And a superheated plasma laser 3D projection image could do that too. Now, I'm not saying I have all the answers. No, in fact, I don't. But before we jump to ET and alien tech, anti-gravity propulsion systems, and an imminent UFO invasion, sometimes the answer to the riddle is just staring you in the face. And the military has been trying to tell us about it for years. The articles are there. The announcements are there. The technology is there. It's just that nobody was listening. Could Commander Fravor and the rest of the Nimitz group have been fooled? Well, if someone would ask them if they think it could have been a projection, and they say, and their answer is absolutely not, what we saw was real, then I guess the plasma laser 3D projection technology works. And the test that was performed on the Nimitz and the Roosevelt carrier groups was successful. Hey, I'm just saying. And here's the deal. All of this tic-tac, yik-yak happening right now is because I watched a cool laser shootout on TV. That's how you go down the rabbit hole. You got to love it, man. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is Thursday. It is Fadernight. It is open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. All right. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. That's what you do, at JChurchRadio. This $11, not a projection. Thank you so much, Eric. That's cool. Eric gives away books and money. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back after this short break. 747-228-2051. It's Fader Night, man.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio.
Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com. Go Beckley Teppy.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact. KGRARadio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, folks. It's troubling times, and fear is pushing emotions, which in turn pushes health, the wrong direction. Do you ever get an ache because life is uneasy? Try Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. Life Change Tea works on your digestive tract, helping to move food through quicker and comfortably so your health is spot on. Life Change Tea may not help with world issues, but it will help with your digestive issues. A glass a day helps keep the intruders away. So, change your life today. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. If your health game is off, get on by ordering Life Change Tea. Getthetea.com. And while you're on our site, look around at the great non-GMO organic supplements. And if you're a sales shopper, go to our specials page and see what's for you. I've been drinking the tea for 12 years and I'm sure glad for its health benefits. Again, that's getthetea.com. Getthetea.com. The tea that makes you go.
Permanent industrial glue impossible to remove? Not anymore, because Handyman Formula by D-Bond is a patented chemical adhesive remover. It's used in the building and home maintenance industry, but now it's available for your home use, for your DIY projects. Unglue stickers, silicone rubber, labels, price tags, flex tape, weather stripping, carpet glue, wood glue, liquid nails, even 3M 5200. And it dissolves graffiti. Yeah, graffiti. Handyman Formula by D-Bond works, and it's safe to use on most surfaces. No need to call a professional. Don't get out the pliers and blowtorch. Just apply a little Handyman Formula by D-Bond and wait 90 seconds, then quickly and easily pull the items apart. Get unstuck. Visit dbondhandymanformula.com. That's dbondhandymanformula.com or call 561-575-4200. Handyman Formula by D-Bond.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Matthew. You're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fadernight. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. And before I get to the calls, a couple of things. I was just looking up here on Twitter, and Kim just posted, Jimmy, do you think your green chrome ball could have been a plasma projection? Yeah. Anything is possible. The crazy thing about that, Kim, is that, and it's funny that you bring this up because Rita and I were talking about this before the show tonight too as well, talking about the beer can, right? And, but is it possible? There's two things that are different about both of those sightings. First off, they were both seen with a crowd of people. Right, there were other witnesses. I wasn't the only one to see this. But with the green chrome ball, that lasted for about 5 or 10 minutes, and it that went from ground level and then up, and it took what seemed like forever into the stars, became a star, and then zipped away. Well, that's a pretty heck of a projection, that. But anything is possible. And when you consider that, Kim, I'm going to speak directly about this. This was about 15 miles from 29 Palms Marine Base out there in 29 Palms. And the technology to do something like that is certainly out there. Probably is out there. And the thing is, and it keeps going back through my mind. That was 6 years ago that sighting happened. But what I found interesting about that sighting, and other things were seen that night. That wasn't the only sighting, but no helicopters, no jets were scrambled. The Marine base is right there with a massive airstrip. And they didn't seem too concerned about what was going on in the skies. And we had seen a lot of things that night. The green chrome ball was probably the most, from what I witnessed, was the most incredible. But nothing was scrapped. There was no interest in what was going on. It seemed like at one point it was like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It was like, wow, crazy stuff flying around. No airplanes, no helicopters. No military concern. So is it possible that they were projecting this stuff? Yeah, sure. Yeah. The green chrome ball lasted a very long time. But going over to the beer can sighting, and once again, I found myself repeating myself to Rita, but I saw that in the binoculars, this big, perfectly focused, it just right there. And spinning, and everybody's talking about it, but there it was. But that disappeared, and I've got to stress with everybody that thing was huge. I've often said 400 feet tall, maybe bigger, 500 feet tall, spinning and moving, and it was in the clear blue sky. There was nothing around it. There were no clouds. The sun. It was there, and we thought we were going to see this and track it for a long time. It was moving from west to east, and it was just wide open sky, right, for miles, and there it, and then it just disappeared. Now, could that been a projection? Yes, absolutely. And Rita asked me for the first time, actually, today. She goes, what was it that you actually, what? Rita literally said, what is it that you think you saw? I said, I can only eliminate the things that I know it wasn't. It wasn't a helicopter, it wasn't a rocket, it wasn't a balloon, it wasn't an airplane, it wasn't anything that I've seen in the sky ever before. She said, yeah, but was it E.T.? How do you know? I don't. I clearly don't. I don't have. What I don't want to hear, and this goes with anybody that has had a sighting like this, is what I don't want to hear is somebody telling me what I saw and what its intentions were and what it would. No, you don't know. If you were not there, then I certainly don't want to hear from you and try to change my opinion about what I saw. What I saw, I don't know. I don't know. What's incredible about this, and going back to this beer can sighting, is I have yet to hear about another sighting like this one. I've seen pictures of plenty of you out there have sent me images. Is this what you saw? Is this? And kind of similar, but no. And everything that I have seen that people have sent me asking, and thank you for that, but much smaller. Remember, what we saw was 14 miles away. and Steve Murillo, who was sitting next to me and who got a great view of it, he saw it disappear. I didn't see it disappear. But his description from 14 miles away was exact, right? Black, spinning, chrome top, chrome bottom, and spinning. You could see that silver circle on it rotating as it came around each time. And that was only on one side, and you could see it. And the spin was slow, wasn't like zip, 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 zip. It was just more like whoom, whoom. So you saw that circle pop up maybe every 2 seconds, that round silver section in the middle of it. But then it disappeared. And when I say it disappeared, I didn't see it disappeared. Everybody else saw it disappear. When it did phase out and disappear, I was shifting from, I had the binoculars on a tripod in front of me. I was out here, I was looking at it, and I went back to the binoculars, and it was gone. and I'm looking for it, and it's not there. And that's when I hear everybody around me saying, it disappeared, it phased out, it disappeared. But I didn't see it do that. Oh, just do anything to go back in time to see it disappear in the middle of the clear blue sky. So could that have been, based on the way I'm describing it to you right now, could that have been a projection, a hologram? Yes. I would say that is as possible as anything else. Was it alien or ET? I don't know. Was it ours? I don't know. Was it theirs? I don't know. Was it a projection? I don't know. I don't know. But let's say it was a projection. Let's say that for a second. Based on what I had just said in my opening rant tonight with like Commander Fravor. What I saw was real. As real as anything. It was perfect. It was perfect. It was physical. Whatever it was real. That's how it impacted me. If what Fravor and the others saw with this Tic Tac was as real to them as what I am describing to you, what's the difference? And what if what I saw was a projection? What if what they saw was a projection? They assume it's real because it's physical. It's a real projection. Can't tell the difference. I'm telling you right now, what I saw was real. And one of the things that I found myself saying once again to Rita, and thinking in my own mind's eye, when I say these things out loud, I realize how crazy it sounds. I realize that. It doesn't change what happened, but I realize that there are people listening going, man, church's imagination is out there, right? But I didn't see this by myself. There were others, and it was crazy. Was it a projection? I don't know. All right, 747-228-2051. Let's go to the phones. Hi, you're live on Faded Black. You're up first on Thursday night. Who's calling? You're live. I can hear you in the background. Let's go.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yes, I got you now. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy. My name's Misty.
Hi, Misty.
From Concord, California.
From Concord? Love that town.
From Concord. Thanks. Yeah, thanks. So, second-time caller here.
Okay.
And I was just listening to you talk about, kind of your experience. And what really came to mind with me was assumptions, which is kind of like a perfect segue into what I want to talk about a little bit tonight.
Sure.
So the first time I called was maybe a little bit over a month ago, and I bothered you about the Mojave phone booth.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know
I do remember that. That was a great phone call. Great phone call.
Cool. So you recommended this really cool documentary. I forget what it's called, but watched it. It was great. Anyhow, the reason for my call tonight actually stimulated from that first call I had with you, because I work with foster youth here in the Bay Area.
Okay.
And our Mojave phone booth conversation, it's just so good. Like, I thought, how can I integrate this into some of the workshops that I'm teaching to some of our teenage foster youth? So I brought it up. In one of our Zoom workshops that we had recently, and I was shocked at like the insights and the, kind of response that I received from some very young minds, like so open to the unexplained, I guess. I'll put it in a nutshell. But anyhow, my husband kind of advised me to call you tonight to mention that we have some, what he called Fader tots, like tater tots, but like they're young little fledglings.
Okay.
But there's a real, I mean, that's what he coined it, right?
Right.
But there's a real interest with our youth in this whole paranormal conversation, in this whole realm of the unexplained. And I find that so fascinating, especially right now, given, kind of our circumstances, that we have youth that are still so open to these conversations. So I suppose my call to you tonight is to pose to you, what kind of resources or what kind of conversations do we have for our young community out there? And what ways can we kind of encourage our youth to be more, vocal in this global conversation? I mean, around UFOs, around government cover-ups, like all the stuff you talk about, like paranormal, like supernatural. Like, how do we really encourage our youth to say, like, it's okay to have these conversations? Because as adults we struggle, right?
Yeah, and you're right about that. And I'll say this: I have two daughters. They're now in their mid-20s. Okay. And they were both raised around, watching movies and having an open mind and things. We didn't really talk about UFOs or the paranormal or the supernatural a whole lot. But as they got older, now, and this is directly addressing your point, we never talked about UFOs, right? They know what I do for a job. They know this, right? But they don't listen to the show. They, it's not like they go, "Hey, Dad, cool show. Listen to it tonight."
Right.
In fact, that's never really happened. But, and this is what is crazy, when the conversation goes that direction, when we have company over at the house or we're having dinner with family or whatever, and the conversation goes in that direction, they are yippity-yappity. They have opinions on this. And what that says to me is that it's not me that's the influence. It's their friends. It's what their interest is. And this is what they talk about. And they have opinions on it. They have opinions on ghosts and life after death and the universe and UFOs and artificial intelligence and the internet, and they are very, very bright and awake. And this is totally I mean, I've sat back and just smiled listening to their intelligence and their opinions on this that didn't come from me. I didn't influence. I didn't have these conversations with them. And so I think our youth today is right there. Now, one of the things besides talking to your, how do I say this? Your class, right? That's your instructing.
Caseload, right?
Right. Yeah. Is you don't want to hit them with the hard ball and go, what, the world is not what it seems. You've been taught. No, you don't want to go there, because I think that they're already kind of understanding that. But there is a new movie out. If there's a way, you may not be able to watch it just yet. For free is what I'm saying. Right now you have to pay for it. It's called Phenomenon. It's by James Fox. And the movie itself is great on the subject, but there are two cases that he talks about there that both involved schools, elementary schools. One of them, without getting into the details of it, but one was in Africa and the other one was in Australia. And this is, both cases are where you have flying saucers, right, landed next to these schools and were witnessed by dozens, if not hundreds, of young school children. And in some cases even made contact. And showing that to a younger audience is a way to, instead of a hard ball, right, you're throwing an underarm softball pitch, right, where they can and totally absorb, because they get to see these kids talking about it. They get to see these kids as adults, now grown-ups, talking about what they went through as children. And it's an incredible, incredible part of this documentary. It's called The Phenomenon. It's by James Fox. Now, you can, Misty, go and watch it. It's called The Phenomenon. Go and watch it yourself. You can watch these 2 cases, Westall, Australia, and the one over in Africa, and glean the information for yourself. You can also go and look at these cases, and you can use this information as curriculum. I mean, because the information is clearly out there. And there's a couple of documentaries on both of these cases that specifically focus on them. One is called Westall 66. You can go and watch that right now for free on YouTube, and you can go and check it out. But that's what I would do.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
This is fantastic, Jimmy. You know what? This is exactly what I was hoping for with this call tonight. I was hoping you would recommend another resource or material that I could kind of dive into and see how I can integrate that into my next series with these youth.
Yes.
So this is great. Yeah, I'm definitely going to look into Phenomena by James Fox.
Yeah,
and the
it's
Westall
great.
66.
Westall 66. And again, I've asked myself, and every time I've jumped into these cases, I ask myself, why schools? Why school children? Right? And then, what's going on here? And then when you see the children interviewed, and then you see them as adults interviewed and discussing this, then it kind of makes sense, because children will tell you exactly what happened, right? They're not worried about getting fired from their job, right?
Yeah.
they're okay, and I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's where I would go. I'd start with the phenomenon, Westall 66. You can look. You'll get all of the resources and the information that you need from both of those documentaries, and you can continue. Let me know how it shakes out.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much, Jimmy. And I'll keep encouraging my theater tots to tune in on Thursday. Sorry.
I love that so much. Thank you so much.
You too.
Have
Take
a
care.
great
Bye-bye.
night. That's a great phone call right there. Still to this day, and when we talk about the great cases, Rendlesham, for instance, or Travis Walton and Pascagoula, and we look at these cases, Westall, man, Westall messes with me. It messes with me. That the Westall 66 documentary, that is incredible. And if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jacqueline?
Hi, Jacqueline. How are you?
Gobekli Tepe. It took me weeks to get that pronounced correctly.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. What's on your mind, Jacqueline? Where are you calling from?
Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm no longer homeless. I got my own apartment.
Yeah, right on. Right on. So,
okay,
what's on your mind?
You talked about projection, and I was thinking, okay, Total Recall and Star Trek with the hologram deck. So I was thinking, how do we know if we're not in a hologram, like watching you? Is this a hologram? But then I got to thinking, we have 5 senses: smell, taste, pain. So I think that's probably one way we can tell it's not a projection. But I just want to thank you for your programs, and I've been listening to Laura Eisenhower and other things. I finally feel like I have been healing mentally and emotionally, and feeling joy and hope. Oh, that's such a good feeling.
Absolutely, Jacqueline. And I'm glad that you got your apartment. I remember you called in. That was probably 6 months ago. And yeah, I do remember that. But see, the thing is, Fade to Black, it's a family here. You can come and hang out with us every night, and there's other ways to hang out with the Fadernauts too as well. But this is where you can come and always get, one, your escape, and two, you always get just a bucket load of knowledge. and you're able to just go and have fun.
Knowledge is power.
It is. No, and especially today. I don't even, right now, I'm at a loss where I need to go go and find my knowledge that is accurate. And if I'm in that position, we're all in that position, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. Well, listening to Laura Eisenhower tonight, she had a live broadcast and talked about all kinds of stuff. And I see that there's two fractions. You've got, the awakening movement and the other movement, and it's crazy, I used to be in Christianity, but I studied myself out of it.
Well,
and these people are just, I don't know, it's just, I guess, Laura Eisenhower's guest kind of explained it. I mean, it's like we're living in two different realities. And, but I've learned I have to stay away from toxic people. It literally makes me sick. To the point where I got to lay down. I can't go outside at the moment, but, grounding yourself and things. And that's why I'm a hermit, because I can't handle bullshit. I realized I've been a bullshit detector as a child. I have this knowing. And it's so nice because 10 years ago when I moved to Missouri, every knowing was verified. So I trust my knowing. I don't care what other people say. I'm going to hang on to that.
Well, and you have to. But you have to. Yeah. And one of the things, I've got to head to a break right here, Jacqueline, but one of the things that pulls everybody back and down and into slow motion is negativity. And once you start, you got big Samsonite luggage just hanging off of you. Just cut that stuff loose, and then you walk free. And that's what you need to do. Jacqueline, be safe, be well, and enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much.
Okay. Go Beckley Tappy.
That's what I'm talking about. Jacqueline from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I am your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. It's Thursday night. It is Fadernight. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. Open lines. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. Alive and well and kicking in front of me. 2 chat rooms, one over at Spreaker, one over at KGRA The Planet. Hello to everybody on YouTube, Facebook, and the Bunker Cam. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Hello, my name is Billy Carson, and I am a best-selling author and the founder of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Together with my team, we have built an all-new conscious streaming TV platform designed with every family member in mind. If you have ever wanted to travel the world and attend lectures and workshops from your favorite speakers but weren't able to, look no further. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. There are dozens of workshops and lectures from speakers you know and love. We have also included amazing categories to assure that your consciousness is entertained and elevating on a daily basis. Amazing interviews, ancient history, ascension knowledge, wisdom teachings, documentaries, conspiracies, mysteries, health and fitness, conscious cooking, meditations, finance, yoga, and so much more. To start your free trial on any mobile device or computer, surf to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's Forbidden Knowledge with the number 4, ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Again, visit ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer, Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at einsteinthecrystalskull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit einsteinthecrystalskull.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernight by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fadernight, 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. Kim has just got the great questions coming tonight on Twitter. Hashtag F2BQ is where you can always tweet me a Fade to Black question. F2BQ. Hashtag F2BQ. And so she says a question. Last night's show with Scott Walter. Jimmy, if someone you felt trustworthy, more or less, from the United States government connected with you and asked you to assist with disclosure because the planet needs help and it's time, what would be your response? Actually, I can't get specific here, but I've been asked, and my answer is just a resounding no. No. And here's the thing. When you look at something like, which is obvious and right out there in front of us, TTSA, which is an obvious government-supported company out there pushing their version of disclosure into the mass media and entertainment and TV series. There's probably a documentary or two in the works, and we've heard rumors about that. Probably a cartoon coming out for Nickelodeon. And it steered from one mindset. And I'm not on board with that. Some are, but here we are. Today is November 12th, 2020. We're about 1 month away from December 16th, December 17th, and it has been 3 years. And we're going to head into year 4. Now, I've been talking about this for a few months now, maybe a little longer. And what has TTSA brought to the table now? Where are they? What is the future of TTSA? I haven't seen the financial records that were disclosed, if you remember, 2 years ago. I didn't see last year's financials. Should be public. They're selling stock in the company. Haven't seen anything new. Where are they financially, and how are they moving forward? And everybody else that is part of the staff and the consultants at TTSA, are they going to disappear back into the black world of black projects? Is that going to phase away? And how is TTSA going to move forward? Because it hasn't been that successful. And the reason why I bring up the financials is, this is a long-winded answer, Kim, but how has the selling of stock been going? Are they continuing to get additional investment going in? What's the value of the stock that has been acquired by the individual stockholders? How many are there? Is there 1,000? Are there 2,000? Are there 10,000? I don't know. And yeah, could it be at, what was it originally? $200, $250? That times 10,000? No, so that number's not up that high. I don't know. And I see the ads pop up on Facebook for TTSA. There isn't a whole lot of traction and movement or comments or positivity, but they're continuing to use that investment money to advertise on Facebook. And I don't see too much on YouTube. I don't see anything really on Twitter. So what is the future? Did that disclosure push work? Doesn't look like it, but I don't know. So my answer is, Kim, it's just no. I think disclosure is inside of this community, and there you go. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Shane Gilliland from Birmingham, Alabama.
What's your name, Shane?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Shane?
I'm doing lovely. How are you doing there, Jimmy?
I'm doing good, man. It's Thursday night. It's Fadernight, man. Best night of the week.
All right, so we can talk about anything, right?
What's that?
We can just talk about anything, right?
Well, that's up to you, and then it's up to me when I got the mute button ready to go.
I got you. I'm a good old Southern boy, and I know you know everything about the paranormal, the extraterrestrial, and the cryptid. And this is where I'm going to go, is with the cryptid.
Okay.
What's up with this Dogman?
I don't know, man. Have you seen one?
I mean, no.
Do you want to? Do you want to see one?
No, I don't want to see Bigfoot. And I believe in Bigfoot, but the Dogman thing, I just don't really understand.
And what is it that you don't understand? I've got a couple of interesting takes on that, but what is it that you don't understand?
I think I don't want to understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hope it ain't out there.
Well, it depends on what version we're talking about, right? And if you go and you look up, and this is what's this is what is interesting to me. If you go and look up Anubis, right? The Egyptian god.
Yes.
Right?
I know what you're talking about.
Right?
Got the dog head.
It's got the dog head. And
yes, sir.
Now, is this, and I've always been fascinated with this, is this based on 5,000-year-old imagination, right? Because that's how at least the documentation goes back.
Exactly. That way, it's born in us. It's instilled in us. It's there.
It's there. It's there. So is that part of reality? Or is that just pure mythology and folklore and part of a religion? Or is it based on something else? And so when you look at the iconography, you look at the images and the carvings and the statues and the representation that goes back, like I said, 5,000 years, right? 4,000 years, 5,000 years of Egyptian history. Is it based on something? Because it looks exactly like, I should say he looks exactly like what people have been reporting around the world for a very long time. So, I don't know.
7 foot tall, and sometimes he's aggressive. Sometimes he's not. Just as long as I'm not on the menu, we're going to get along. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. And Shane, have you ever heard of Dogman attacking somebody?
I've heard of some cover-ups, but then again, too, these are cover-ups.
Right.
It's not proven. You know what I mean?
Right. But, have you heard? I haven't heard of Dogman attacking somebody. I've always heard, the glowing red eyes. And, you hear the sightings in the reports, but you don't hear about a Dogman attack. I could be wrong. Maybe there's some out there, but is there something to be afraid of? I don't want to bump into Dogman,
No, I don't either, but obviously there was something about land between the lakes, the LBL. I think that's in Kentucky, and it was like a recreational area for camping.
Mm-hmm.
And supposedly, like in the early 80s, there was a whole family just slaughtered by them.
Oh, now I haven't heard about that. I need to look into it.
You really do. You need to. It's LBL, and check that out and see what you think about that.
Wow. Well,
that
the other thing, and when you watch Gods of Egypt, that's a great movie. But when Anubis comes into your world, that means you're being escorted or led to the underworld, and and so you don't want to bump into him, right? But the other thing is, he also takes you up to the end of this road. There's a cliff, and in front of you is a giant scale, and they weigh your heart against a feather, right? To see if you're a good person or not. And that determines your journey forward. And that's, man.
Oh, that's hard. That's hard to beat.
I'm looking at a picture. I'm looking at this statue of him here with the scale in his hand with the feather and the heart on the other side. Yeah, man. Hey, Shane.
We're going to lose the situation. Hey, I appreciate your time, Jimmy. I wanted to call you and see what you think about it, but do look up the land between the lakes thing and see what you think about that.
I'll check it out, Shane. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great night. And that was Shane from Alabama. And I say it all the time. I really do. You just don't want to bump into Anubis. That's the zone that you don't want to go into, because there's a scale involved, and your life is right there and is measured. Yeah. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy. Malcolm from Florida here. It's been a while.
How are you, man?
I'm still surviving. The coronavirus hasn't managed to get me yet.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah, I'm still standing.
The coronavirus. Hmm?
I'm still standing myself.
Yeah, good. Say, listen. This thing you're just talking about, laser, plasma, 3D holograms.
Uh-huh.
I'm no expert in the field myself. I think it's a rather obscure field. I'm a photographer, but I don't think one of those could actually survive a plunge into the ocean. It's like a plasma is an electrically charged cloud of gas. There's plasma inside fluorescent bulbs. So once you break the bulb, plasma, there may be things called cold plasmas, but they're very poorly understood. Plasma is usually like really hot, and it's not very dense. It's in a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see one of those surviving a plunge into the ocean at all.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But let me tell you this. I have been thinking about this whole situation with the UFOs, and I decided, because, I think about Jacques Vallée's idea a lot. And I decided to put myself in the position of an intelligent UFO, because I assume these things are powered by artificial intelligence or guided by it.
Okay.
Okay. What are my passengers? My passengers are living creatures. Living creatures are protoplasm. Protoplasm is 70% water. I'm hauling 70% water from here to Alpha Centauri or into the 12th dimension, wherever it is UFOs come from. I don't think that's how a really intelligent artificial intelligence would behave. Assume for a minute, if you will, that the UFO itself can create the illusion of reality in human subjects. Okay?
Okay.
I think that the UFOs are the actual thing that is gathering the intelligence on us. The various creatures that appear in the menagerie are just, it's like a program for dealing with experimental subjects.
Well, that's the way I would assume. I've talked about this hundreds of times on this show over the years, that I can only assume that what ET would be doing is what we are doing. We're sending probes to Mars. We're sending probes to Jupiter and Saturn, and Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 are now in interstellar space, and Pioneer 11 and on and on and on, the Global Surveyor and things. If we are doing that, then ET is doing the same thing. They're out there collecting information in the universe, and in this case, our Milky Way galaxy. They would have to be doing that, and that's what we go into the jungles, we go into the oceans, we go to the tops of mountains to collect information, to look at species, to see how things live and what they are doing. That ET is doing the same thing. We are hoping to discover life on Mars. That's what we are doing right now. We're probing and drilling and scooping. We just got off of the probe on the asteroid Bennu, and it's going to be here in 2023. What did we do? We scooped, right? And we want to know what's there. ET's doing the exact same thing. They have to be.
Well, you're assuming their motivations and their motives are the same as ours.
Why would we think differently?
Because they might be motivated by something like an intense religious drive.
So
or
are we.
They're a hive mind that we really can't conceive of.
But we do
Because
the
we're
same
all
thing.
individuals.
We're driven by we're driven by religion on this planet. Who said we weren't?
Yes, we are. But the objectives, I'm just saying that the objectives of religion are very different from those of exploration or politics. You know, it's got its own goals. You don't get, 10,000 laborers to work for 20 years to build the Great Pyramid, except for religion, and because it's going to employ a hell of a lot of people. It's funny to me the way human beings do things for invisible entities that they can't prove anything about.
Well,
but that's the strongest motivator, apparently.
Well, there's a few ways to look at that. All right, look, if you let's say this. Okay, let's go back 4,000 years, and you are part of a community somewhere in Africa, and you've got 500 people living in the village, right? And your goal every day is to make sure that everybody is fed and everybody is safe, right? That's what you need to do, because you need to procreate, you need to have children, you need to expand, and so forth. That, those are your goals. But you find out, and you're watching as the leader of this community, that everybody's going down to this creek, drinking water, and then getting sick and dying. Now, but people need water, right? So what do? You are going to tell the community, because they're going to continue going down. They need to drink. So you're going to tell that community, you're going to go, hey, I just spoke to God, and God said, if you drink that water, you're going to die. You cannot drink that water. God said to go and find another water source. That's the only thing that they are going to believe. And is that right?
I don't believe you there. I don't believe you.
Oh, I do.
I don't believe you.
100%.
You don't need a high priest to tell you that. Common sense tells you that.
You tell that to a bunch of uneducated, haven't been through a school system village 4,000 years ago, and you want to talk philosophy with them? It's not going to work.
Practicality with them.
Yeah, right, exactly. It doesn't work that way, and that's where the thought of using religion as a control, that's where all of that came from. So today, you can say, and it happens every day on television with evangelists. God said. And God said that, and that's where that control came from. And probably today, now whether you're religious or not, but probably today, the reason why you and I are able to talk is because religion was at some point in history used as a control mechanism for survival. And it has been used over and over and over again. It reminds me, Malcolm, I've got to head to a break, but if you go back and watch Chris Rock's special, and this just popped into my head from HBO in the mid-'90s, when Chris Rock said, today, if I'm hungry, pork is your best friend. Right? But in some religions it's not, and it's banned. And where did that come from? Well, thousands of years ago, pork was killing people. And God said, don't eat pork. There was, and it becomes part of dogma, and it becomes part of a religious order. And so don't say that what I am saying is out of the question. I'm just saying religion has always been there as a source of control for survival and control.
So have social issues and the agriculture practices of the time and a lot of other things besides religion.
Sure.
We could argue about farming. We could argue about farming 4,000 years ago too, and who raises pigs and who raises goats. But
sure.
Let's not argue about that. Just think about thinking about UFOs from the UFOs point of view.
I do.
Okay.
I do. I've got 2 minutes left, so go ahead. I'll give you the chance to wrap this up.
Oh, well, okay. The other thing I spend a lot of time thinking about is dolphins. And the fact that they can change consciousness so rapidly. From my experience, Jimmy, they can get into the human mind and wander around pretty much at will. They just don't want to.
But how is this from the UFO's point of view?
Oh, well, if UFOs, like David Fravor, seen coming out of the sea, who's going to know about them? Who's going to be the expert? The dolphins. We don't know anything about the sea compared to them.
I would talk to sea otters. That's what I would do. I talk to the otters. They have opposing thumbs.
Do they?
Think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Did you know that sea otters, one of the very few animals on this planet that uses tools, actual
tools?
Know that. It's mind-blowing.
Did you know that 10% of female sea otters get drowned in the mating process? Bet you didn't know that.
Ah, man, why they're so cute. Why would you bum me out, Malcolm? Man, I used to go to the Monterey Aquarium here. It's an incredible aquarium. And their whole sea otter thing there is just absolutely insane. They've got full freedom. They can do whatever they want. Go out to the Monterey Bay and come back and hang out. You look at a sea otter, and I'm serious. I have friends that are not as smart as sea otters. I'm going on the record right now. I'm going on the record. Malcolm, enjoy your weekend, man. Thank you for the phone call. Don't be a stranger.
Hey, Jimmy, thanks a lot. So long.
Have a great night. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. Got a lot of calls on hold. And if you are on hold, just stay right there. I will get to everybody after this break. This is Fade to Black. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Do you want to be an official Fadernight? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Old New England Soap is committed to producing the highest quality organic and goat milk soaps available anywhere. We take pride in using the purest ingredients and avoiding the typical shortcuts used by other soap makers. Because goat milk is what feeds your skin, we have formulated our soap to use the maximum amount of goat milk possible, 38%, more than double any other brand. Not because it's easy, but because our soap is always better. We are proud to offer you what we consider to be truly premium quality handmade soaps. What's more, our soap does not contain GMO ingredients, pesticides, sulfates, dyes, artificial colors, alcohol, or petroleum products. Try our new shampoo bar and pooch soap, and be sure to see all of the great scented woodwick soy candles that burn soot-free for up to 100 hours. Right now, save 15% on your order and get free shipping on orders over $45. Buy now at oldnesoap.com. That's oldnesoap.com. Not available in stores. oldnesoap.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com.
TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
Telepath is a weekly digital newsletter filled with the latest paranormal news, trending topics, and fresh articles from some of the most popular critical thinkers in the community today. Stay informed on your favorite paranormal podcasts and live streaming talk shows. Interact with the Telepath and upload your paranormal story or pics. It could be featured in an upcoming edition. Sign up right now for the free Telepath newsletter at paranormal.radio. That's paranormal.radio.
Including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fadernight. Open lines all night long. I want to let everybody know this is like some serious business here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 calls on hold, 18 with the one that's coming in. Be patient. Be patient. I've got a full rack of calls in front of me. I'll try to get everybody in. Let's see what happens. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Turn
me down in the
Jimmy.
background. Yeah, turn me down in the background. Who's calling?
I have it down, Jimmy. This is Ray from up north here in BC.
Okay, what's your name? Ray?
Ray.
Ray. How you doing, Ray?
Oh, not too bad. I just want to say something. I like the way you summed up the fake news yesterday.
Right on.
Also the holographic thing about the plasma tonight. You know, it's an amazing technology that, if that's ever, you know, I think it's alien anyway. I'm calling in regard to, let's say, I'm just thinking if it's holographic and it's plasma, it's by the Army or Navy. What if this thing is actually interacting with an individual or even a group? I mean, physically individual, like interacting with you, you know.
Yeah, and you're listening to yourself in the background. See, that's why you got to turn it down. See.
I don't have it. It's really down. Oh, maybe I'll turn it off.
Okay, but listen. Yeah, you got to always turn that off, Ray. Yeah, I don't know. The answer to that is I don't know. You know, I don't. How could I? We could theorize different things here, but we have to always get down to the basic of the basics when we're talking about this. Is it us or is it them? Right? So are we interacting with ourselves? I don't know.
Yes.
You know, are we interacting with an intelligence? And I always draw the line in the sand here when people talk about this. Are we referring to an intelligent civilization from out there in the universe? Let's start there. Don't beat around the bush. Like with the United States Navy and UAPs and all of these kind of, are you referring to something that is not created on planet Earth? Quit beating around the bush.
This could be joined. But anyway, I just want to tell you something that happened to me. Here's I'm going to start with this. July 25th, 2020, 10:48 p.m. on a warm, starry night. First of all, do you know much about numerology, about 1111?
Okay. Continue.
Okay, so anyway, it was a beautiful starry night. I went with my cell phone outside my townhome, and we live at elevation above sea level about 1,200 feet or more. The tip were probably about 1,005, so we're right in the middle, or even 1,200 above sea level. Anyway, I was out there, sitting out in beautiful warm weather, starry night, with my cell phone, watching an international show that I follow almost every night. And 45 degrees, if you picture this, there were like these group of lights, and it was like, they weren't fast, they were like cruising. And you can really tell, they're probably a few miles, 45 degrees, and they're banking. So they're banking to the left. Oh, wow, I says, well, that's neat. Watching it for, I don't know, maybe a few minutes. A few seconds. It suddenly just, poof, gone. Okay, so now that's fine. Oh, that's pretty good. A moment later, these flashes of light just came on. There was one poof. So this time I'm still watching my show on the cell phone. Then the second light, poof, there was like flashes, like, coming towards me. I mean, it's still about maybe a few miles up there. The third light, poof. Okay, wow, that's weird. And then my cell phone just went totally dead. I said, what's wrong with this now? So anyway, the fourth poof, it is right up there, the flash, and it's still about a few miles up there. And lo and behold, right above me is like, boom, another flash of light, 12 o'clock. I'm looking up like this, and sure enough, it flashed. And when it was gone, my cell phone just boom, blared out really loud, and then the show came on. I mean, I've never heard that loud, and you could see me. It was like funny, weird. I jumped off my seat from the stairs. Okay, so I was there for just trying to take it all in. I was there sitting there. It was beautiful, nice, warm weather. But anyway, I didn't want to tell the wife. She was in the living room watching TV, and they're not going to believe me again.
Right.
So anyway, I think my show was almost done, so I stood up and got to, open the door and went back in. And here it comes. This is the 1111. I looked at the time. I just kind of glanced at the time. It was 11 o'clock, 11 minutes. I was going, okay. Now, I know what that's all about, but I've been seeing that number, and I always, there are a lot of people that says they're angels. Not angels. I don't believe so. I think these are revelation stuff. The numbers, especially, like sometimes you get all these 333, 444, 555. But the 1111, I think it's a revelation. This and if you can tell what's happening in the world right now. That's my opinion. Anyway, so that's about it, Jimmy.
That's pretty cool, though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
By the way, Jimmy, I don't know if you had Martin Willis as a guest before from Podcast UFO.
No, I've never met him. I know who he is. I've seen his name, but
yeah, I actually this is the second time. I called the first time over there, and it was the show was almost over because I've been watching their show for a long time too, Podcast UFO.
Okay.
And anyway, so this is what I think of 1111 and what is happening here. I don't know. I think it's just an amazing technology too. That holographic thing you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. And and Ray, thank you for the phone call, and I want you to be safe out there. The whole 1111 thing, for me, I don't know what is actually going on with it. In that, it's way too. I don't know if my brain is now programmed. It just naturally triggers. If my brain knows, my subconscious knows that it is 11:11, and pick up your phone, notice, look down at the clock in the car, look up on the TV, whatever it is, look on your computer and look at the computer. How often I glance up or down or whatever, and it's 11:11. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if we're just now subconsciously programmed to do this, and so many people talk about it now that it has spread, right? I don't know the 100th monkey, right? I don't know, because it happens all the time, and I've said it on the show. I'm going to get back to the phone calls here in just a second. When our daughter Deanna, this is a couple of years ago. Again, we don't talk about these things with our kids, but she comes bursting into our bedroom. Rita and I are sitting there watching TV. I don't know what's going on. Every time I pick up my phone, it says 11:11. What is going on? We just laugh. But here she is. I've never talked to her about it. And there you go. I don't know. I don't have any idea what is going on with that. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yeah, hi, this is Scotty.
Hey, Scotty. How are you?
Oh, excellent. I'm so glad I got on. I'm a big fan. You're one of my favorite hosts on Coast to Coast.
Right on.
Yeah, and I just thought I'd call in. I'm a musician, and I got into remote viewing back in 1995, 96 when it was declassified, and actually learned from Lynn Buchanan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he went out the country. He was teaching people, and I took it really seriously, and I've been doing it ever since then. And I just wanted to share something. I'm a big fan of the pyramids, and there's a lot of mysteries about the pyramids, obviously. And one of the cool things about remote viewing is that when you get stuck and you have no more evidence and you can't figure out the answers, remote viewing can be a good tool to,
no doubt.
No
doubt, Scotty. I'm fully engaged when it comes to remote viewing. And Lynn Buchanan, I mean, you learn from the best. I'm pretty jealous about that. But let's get back to the pyramids. So are you saying, did you go and try to seek your own answers with the pyramids to see what's going on with remote viewing?
Yes, I have for years. And, there's a lot of things I could say, but one thing I feel consistent about, pretty confident about, is that the pyramids were some type of a machine. Obviously, we know there's a huge complex going on there, a lot of underground shafts and tunnels and everything. But one thing that I do believe is that not only did whoever built the pyramids, were they just exceptional, mentally, and they did everything with absolute precision and purpose. I believe the Great Pyramid had like a gold cap on it, and the sun would reflect off of it for miles. And they were not only trying to send a signal to the world that they believe themselves to be superior, in a good way, but they also were trying to send a message that don't mess with us. Like, we'll take care of you if you think you're gonna, get over anxious, or what I'm saying.
Yes.
One of the things that's always got me is, well, who were they? We've heard about the 12,000 year some apocalyptic event that occurred, and something happened. I can tell you that something happened. It's kind of hard to get into, but
well, let me ask you. Well, okay, Scotty, let me ask you a couple of questions. How's that?
Okay.
Okay. In your remote viewing, did you ever see how the pyramids were built?
Yes, to a certain degree.
Like what? I mean, help.
Okay.
I mean, that's what if I was a remote viewer and I had that talent, that's where I'm going first, man. I'm just telling you right now. But what did you see?
I saw machinery that was electromagnetic of some sort. This particular machine that I saw was self-generating power, and tremendous power. And it was generating so much power that it could literally pulverize the hardest stone into dust. And a lot of it had to do with the shafts and the tunnels underneath. I believe that was a starting point. That's where they started. And they selected that location for very specific reasons.
Yeah, I agree with you. The one thing that, you just said this, and I agree with you. The one thing that keeps coming back to me when I see, the Grand Gallery or, the interior, the exterior is one thing, but you see how it's built, and without any decoration, nothing carved on the walls, nothing romantic, nothing religious, nothing. There's nothing there. It looks like it's industrial. It doesn't look like a fun place to go and hang out. It looks like a factory or a machine or something that was built to do something. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't look like it was a celebration place. It doesn't look like that. There are temples all over Egypt that are glorious, right? Look at Dendera, or look at Luxor, right? And Edfu. And you look at these places that are built for beauty and with messages and information all over it. That's not what the Great Pyramid was about. That looks mechanical to me. It doesn't look like it's was built for a place to hang out. It was built. It's a machine. I just don't know what it did. I don't have a clue.
Yeah, but I can tell you that their purpose behind it was very specific. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Of course.
I'm still trying to figure out what exactly the machinery was doing.
Yeah.
But it was tremendous, and it was beyond the way we think today. They definitely were on a different level. And Brian Forrester has a lot of videos, and a lot of those statues that were carved out of one huge piece of stone, I believe that those were left over from whoever built the pyramids.
Well, I agree. I've said that so many times, and I'm glad that you have that same observation. To me, I keep coming back to the same conclusion that they're much older than what we have been told. Most of the basis on the age of the pyramids and everything are come out of the British archaeologists that were there in the early 1800s and through 1900, and it is now just established. I keep going back to the word dogma, but that's what it is. But I think that compared to the other pyramids that are in Egypt, I just feel that those pyramids on the Giza Plateau were already there. The Egyptians inherited those, and that's my take. I just think that they were already there. And that's why there isn't any hieroglyphics on them, because they were built before hieroglyphics was a language. And that's it.
Well, they were built long before this 12,000-year cataclysmic event. That's for sure.
Could be 50,000 years. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because it took a long time for them to get up to that level of technology as well. But also, another thing that I did perceive is that the face of the pyramids were, in their prime, were as smooth as you could possibly imagine. And they were just astounding to look at.
Yeah, sure. You look at Khafre. If you look at Khafre and you look at the top of it where the exterior stones are still there, and just imagine, right, all the way down to the ground, polished white. It just must have been amazing to look at. Hey, Scotty, don't be a stranger. Love first-time callers here, man. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy.
Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
That's a perfect phone call right there. And but I'm serious. I'm serious. If I was a remote viewer, that's where I'm going. I'm going right there. If I knew, see, you could do with remote viewing, you can go back and check things out. If you have a time machine, you got to have some exact dates, or you're going to miss it. You're going to go back to 2650 BC, and the pyramids are already going to be there. And now it's a crapshoot. Do I go 10,000 years ago? Do I go 12? What do I do? Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, it's Matt from Winnipeg. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, Matt. What's cracking, man?
Oh, I wanted to provide you some information. One of your callers had asked some pretty interesting questions there about the Dogman, and I may have some answers for you.
With the Dogman, okay.
Yeah. So you asked, has there ever been Dogman that has attacked humans?
Yes.
And the answer is yes.
Okay, what happened?
Okay, well, there's one. I know of one particular incident, I believe, that took close by Ohio, where another individual had encountered one going on the property and ended up trying to fight one of these things to get it away from its family, or his family, ends up getting clawed from on the left side of his rib cage underneath his left arm, from the bottom of where his bottom kidney meets all the way up to the top of where I can't remember, the pectoral muscle is. That's all the way up just underneath the armpit, like a big massive slice mark from a claw.
Wow.
And then we've had now you've also seen, they're not as common in Canada as they are more in the United States, but in 2016 there was an incident at Black Sturgeon Lake, which is very close to Kenora, Ontario, and there was also a particular cryptic encounter, which may have been a type of bipedal cat, but it might be debatable if we start to look further more into how the research is done. Mm-hmm. That a white Ford truck has been stripped open, like just literally ripped apart, while two guys trying to get away from it. So, these things, they ain't no joke. And there's been other incidences up in northern Quebec, and of encounters with the loggers, and you have seen like damaging equipment, and you have seen these things in DC. And where it's really interesting is when you start looking at the tracks of some of these particular canines that seem to be tracked, you will find that in some cases you'll see almost like a 10-foot stride from print to print, where you actually see a canine print bigger than your hand, but you look like you actually have a recession in the heel. Mm. So you can tell that this particular canine is actually walking on two legs. Now, something else to be known is where you start seeing a lot of these particular sightings around Ohio and Michigan, Wisconsin, and then you work all the way down into Georgia and Texas and to California. One of the things that was really common, and I actually talked to one of my anthropology instructors a long ago, and back in my second year of my engineering studies, that there was a relationship to corn and the sighting of these particular animals. See, back thousands of years ago when the Mayans were still around, that you would actually see a lot of these migration patterns where corn was followed. And ironically, where these corns were, you also start seeing the most amount of these sightings. And it looks like that the Mayans had worshipped this particular creature. So if you look at what Exoltl is, if you look at that Mayan god Exoltl, you will find that when you start looking at some of the depictions and some of the pictures of how Mayan art was placed together, you will see that it's in the shape of a type of canine. And where it starts to become interesting, like you mentioned before about like Anubis, what's debatable about that is Anubis is a jackal versus Exoltl is a wolf.
Mm.
And so when you start to look at these particular sightings, it looks like there was some kind of ancient relationship between these animals or these creatures and very ancient human beings. So some sort of symbiotic relationship. It's also strange that if you go back to some of the ancient Greek mythologies, you start to see some weird carvings and artwork of types of bipedal type of canine working together with humans doing trade, which makes me wonder, I have to really think about this one, if the terminology merchant to describe this particular creature is appropriate. I wondered if something along the lines of this, that we may have done trade with this type of creature thousands of years ago.
Interesting, Matt. Well done, man.
Yeah.
Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Well done.
Yeah.
It sounds like this is what I hope Stephen King is listening tonight, because I think you just gave Stephen King his next book, right? The Dogman in the cornfields. Right.
I cannot take the credit for it because I've been learning things from like Linda Godfrey and the North American Dogman Project,
right? And
trying to cross-reference things with Linda Moulton Howe and things that Richard Dolan have, and and just from other listeners on your show. Like, it just amazes me just how educated some of these people that come in and call. It's phenomenal, the kinds of things I can learn from these things, and then go and cross-reference in some of these universities and ask questions about so on and so forth. And so when you start looking at these things and you start taking what people say and you start, looking at all the UFO stuff and Sasquatch stuff and Dogman stuff, and you start lining it up, is there a connection? Well, what drew me to the attraction of the Dogman and Sasquatch is the disruption of an electrical current when encountering these things. Just like what you said many, many shows ago, that the Ford Motor Corporation back in the 1950s researched why their cars were stalling in encounters of a UFO. Well, there's been entire encounters of some of these people that talk, like, for instance, the Brothers and Vic Condeff, Dogman Encounters, that just listens to what people have to say, that these people, there's one incident that blows my mind, is that when one of these creatures shows up in front of the vehicle, that this woman's vehicle just stops. It just stops working until the creature is gone, looks at you with its red, yellow eyes, and then the car is able to start up and go again. And so I started looking at those things with greater detail. Was there a relationship between these particular issues? And it looks like there might actually be.
That's what I'm talking about, Matt. Hey, listen,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta head to a break.
Great.
Yeah, it's great to hear your voice, and enjoy your weekend, man. Thank you so much, Matt. Great info.
You too. Thank you very much. Go back, be happy, buddy.
That's what I'm talking about. Have a great weekend. Fade to black. Wow. Right? Wow. And I do have to take a break right here, and let me see what's going on. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to say this is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. You're on hold. Stay right there. I will get to your calls right after the break. 747-228-2051. Stay with us.
Hi everybody, this is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Why is it we're not very good with our health regimen until it's too late? We don't put oil in the car until the engine blows up. When the body's out of balance, your health is not so good. Give your body some love. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Try our Life Change Tea, which cleanses you from harmful intruders. A clean colon is one of the ways to bring the body in balance. We also carry organic supplements to help you get where you need to go. So do your body a favor. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. You can even visit our sales page to save some dough. Does anybody call money dough anymore? Anyway, if you're looking for short, helpful health tips, go to YouTube and punch in Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. So, log on to getthetea.com, shop, get balanced, then learn some cool tips at Health Matters Now. You'll be glad you did. That's getthetea.com.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRAradio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend. Let's face it, you've always wanted to do a sky watch and see your first UFO. Today, it's easy. Just get your own HP7 3B Cobalt Jimmy Church Edition night vision goggles from Hoffman's Optics. This is the same U.S. military system that I use, featuring a Generation 3 blue phosphor image tube. That's right, it's blue, not black and green. This is the only blue system in the world, and it's waterproof, lightweight, combat-proven, simple to use, and ready to go. Hoffman's Optics helped create night vision sky watches, and now you can see what everyone has been talking about each night from your own backyard. Just call 760-231-9929. That's 760-231-9929. You can click on the banners on our site or visit UFOnightvisiongoggles.com. That's UFOnightvisiongoggles.com. Go back, Lee Tepe.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact. KGRAradio.com.
When you're in the house for longer periods of time, you can see them flying or running across the floor. Ooh, yuck. They're unhealthy, gross, and disgusting. Bugs. I loathe bugs. We keep a clean home, but occasionally bugs show up. Well, I found something that is tougher than bugs. Orange Guard. On contact, it kills hidden bugs, including ants, roaches, and fleas. Plus, Orange Guard is a residual repellent. All of the ingredients of Orange Guard are on the FDA generally recognized as safe list. Orange Guard may be used around food, humans, and pets. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Orange Guard. Available at orangeguard.com, Whole Foods, and Ace Hardware.
Telepath is a weekly digital newsletter filled with the latest paranormal news, trending topics, and fresh articles from some of the most popular critical thinkers in the community today. Stay informed on your favorite paranormal podcasts and live streaming talk shows. Interact with the Telepath and upload your paranormal story or pics. It could be featured in an upcoming edition. Sign up right now for the free Telepath newsletter at paranormal.radio. That's paranormal.radio.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back. Fade to Black, Thursday night, Fadernight. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. I'll get to the calls in just a second, but Today's 11/12. It's Thursday. You know what tomorrow is? It's Friday the 13th. Yeah, man. Friday the 13th at the end of 2020. What could happen? Oh, man. All right. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is Emerson from Prescott, Arizona.
Hey, Emerson from Prescott. I like the way you said it correctly, too, as well. Doesn't it bother you when somebody goes, hey, I'm going to Prescott?
You know, it used to, and then there's actually some people who live here who are like old timers, and they will call it Prescott just to get to you.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah,
there's a
sure.
weird dynamic that goes here with that. That's
Yeah,
totally
sure,
true.
sure. But when somebody says, you know what, I'm from Prescott, I get it. You know, I'm there. I'm there with you. What's on your mind tonight,
Yeah.
Emerson?
Hey, brother, it's been a long time since you and I have talked. Several years. I don't think I ever called in the show. We chatted a bit on Stellar, and you hooked me up with Alec Baring and some other people because I was about to do some stuff that ended up not coming to fruition. But Baring was great, by the way. He was fantastic. He sent me out a pair of night vision goggles just to try.
Right.
And for several weeks or whatever. Great guy. Anyway, you finally came up with a topic that compelled me to call, and it's this plasma, laser, light, whatever the heck they are. In 2015, I went to Santa Cruz, California, and I lived there for a couple of years to take care of a relative. And as you know, there's a naval base right across the bay in Monterey Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And Santa Cruz, for people who don't know, that bay, that Monterey Bay, it's kind of shaped like a C.
Yes, it is.
And so the letter C, or U, sort of. But if you were to be in Santa Cruz, where I was, central Santa Cruz, and look out, you're not actually looking out directly in the ocean. You see Monterey first.
That's right.
And that's how it works. So anyway, I lived where I was living was about 3 or 4 blocks from the marina there in Santa Cruz, and I couldn't see the water because there was a line of eucalyptus trees, probably 25 yards long, that prevented me from seeing most of the water. And I've never, just to let you know, I'm very open-minded. I've never seen anything in my life paranormal that I can, without a doubt say I believe this X, Y, and Z happened. I just don't know. I have experienced some things like out of body or astral travel or near death, I don't know what you want to call it, that was real, and I know that there is something more to our reality than we can always perceive with our limited senses or with our historical knowledge or whatever. So I have an open mind. Anyway, I'm in Santa Cruz, and it's, remember back then, I think it was around 2015, there was a lot of those like weird sonic boom things that were happening around the country.
That's right.
Okay. That I experienced, maybe it's hard to remember because it's 2 years, maybe 2 days to a week before I saw what I saw. So the first thing and I don't know if they're related, probably not, but I'm going to describe them both because they were so close together. So the first one was that sonic boom thing. I was outside on the driveway. The garage door was shut, and it was one of these old 1950s wooden garage doors that, kind of flaps around and stuff and all of that. And the garage was never used. It was packed full of stuff. And it never opens or anything. It's just locked. And I was just standing there, I think it was in the morning or early afternoon, on the driveway. And that sonic boom thing happened. One of those things happened. And my experience was it came down from above, okay? So it didn't come from the earth like an earthquake. I've lived in California most of my life. It came from above,
right?
Pressure from above. And at the same time I noticed that, the garage door moved in and out. So there was pressure pushing up against that as well. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I used to listen to KYCSO or whatever the local station there for talk radio all the time, and all kinds of calls were called in about that. Tons of people felt it in different types of ways, expressed it in different ways, but it undoubtedly happened, right? Okay, so now a few days later, maybe up to a week, I'm in the same spot in the driveway, and I'm looking out towards the Monterey Bay, and there's eucalyptus trees to my right, and I can see a little bit of the bay to my left, and it's nighttime, and so I see lights of either Monterey or the naval station over there, and what I see, the best I can describe it, because it totally doesn't fit with anything in this reality, was if you were to take a short yellow school bus and make it round, so that much mass, that size of material, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then you made it look like an asteroid, just flames of yellow and red and orange, just a burning molten rock that you would expect would be coming straight down and is going to splash into the ocean if you saw something like that, right?
Okay.
It wasn't doing that, though. It was sort of skirting the horizon, so horizontal to the horizon, maybe 5 or 10 degree drop going towards the water of the Monterey Bay. And what freaks me out about it, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing an asteroid. I'd be going, badass.
Right.
But it was moving unrealistically slow, like slower than a balloon. A balloon would be blown by the wind, go up and down, but would kind of drift slowly. This is more like if it was a blimp seen from a mile away, moving that slow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So just that slow, nothing falls out of the sky at that speed. It has to be under some sort of power or resistance or something.
Right.
Okay, so then it goes towards it's going down. It's going to hit the ocean. I know it. But it goes to the eucalyptus trees. So now I can't see it, right? And I sit there and I'm waiting because I'm going to run down there as soon as it splashes. There is no splash. There is nothing. Zero. And so I'm like, what the heck is that? All right.
All right.
If you can give me 30 seconds more.
Okay.
So then I come back to Arizona, and I have a scientist friend, and I asked him about it. And he says, I think you saw a ball of lightning. And he showed me pictures of ball lightning, and it wasn't that. It just wasn't that. It wasn't white. It was flaming red, orange, yellow.
Right.
Like a meteor. So now that you brought up this whole projection and laser thing, and the fact that there is that naval, I think it's a training facility. I'm not sure exactly what it is. You probably know more than I. But maybe they were playing with some stuff out there. And so then I mentioned it again to a UFO kind of buddy of mine who's all over this stuff and believes everything. And he mentions a little movie that's available on, I guess it's Amazon. I don't remember the name. But some independent little movie this guy made in Santa Cruz or Monterey, where he was recording all these sort of lights in the skies and shapes, and some look like Jesus and different things like this.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool. Really it's a good documentary, by the way.
It's wacky and weird.
Oh,
but
it's
cool,
wacky
right?
and weird, and it's full on Santa Cruz, man.
Totally.
Yeah.
The guy is crazy.
I think it's called the man who sees UFOs, right? I
think you're right.
Yeah.
But it's entertaining because it's crazy.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
But when you tie it into what you're talking about with this plasma and laser, I'm just curious if there's someone in the military right now that's listening, that can call you in a few weeks and just give us a thumbs up, give us a little.
Yeah,
bit.
Emerson. Let me say this really quick, and I've got so many calls on hold, but let me just say this: the fact that flaming ball didn't crash, didn't light some trees on fire, didn't come out of the other side of the eucalyptus, it just stopped. That makes you scratch your head. You know,
it was nothing.
Yeah, I know.
It was nothing.
It makes you scratch your head. I did see. I got to make this really quick. I've told the story way too many times. Here in Burbank, looking up, and I see a frigging meteor flying through the sky in the middle of the day. It's like 12 noon.
And you were with Rita, right?
No, I was by myself. I was with some friends, but Rita wasn't there. But and it's smoking, and it was so low, I could hear it crackling, and going right overhead. It was probably 1,000 feet, maybe. I could see all the detail. I could see the smoke, the thing. It was crazy.
And it never hit, and there was nothing on the news, right?
It was. I kept thinking to myself, it's too slow to stay in the air, right? And it's crackling and it's moving overhead. We watched it for a couple of minutes, and then it went behind the mountain here in Burbank, and never heard anything else about it. I was dumbfounded.
Just like that. It was too slow to be real. And so I think, and I don't know anything any more than anybody else, but I think we're testing things, and we're seeing what our military is, seeing what we can get away with, how people react. What does the news report? What goes on when we do X, Y, and Z? That's just my guess.
Yeah.
Who the heck knows?
Emerson, enjoy your night, man. Thank you for the phone call. Good stuff.
Hey, love you, brother. Prayers to Armenia. My best to you and your family and everybody you know in that community.
And tell everybody in Prescott I said yo.
Yo.
I'll talk to you, man. Great phone call. That sighting that I had with this meteor, this is the first thing that popped in my head, though. I was like, okay, everybody goes and gets the meteorite, and they sell it, the watches that have the, you see the stuff, the value of it. And I'm thinking to myself, that thing is like 100 feet in diameter, man. That's a lot of meteorite that's going to come crashing down. And it went behind the mountain. Never heard anything about it. That thing flew right across the valley. And it, just like Emerson was saying, it was slow. I mean, I just watched it and I heard it. It was crazy. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is your OG Deb. How you doing?
Deb.
Yeah.
How are you?
Pretty good. Can't complain. I don't do any good anyway.
How many years have you been calling this show, Deb?
I started listening to you, dear, at episode 7, and you're still stuck with me.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's why I said I'm your OG Deb.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And Deb, it was you that sent me the moonshine.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Granddaddy's recipe.
Man. I could use some more.
Okay. Hey, we perfected the apple pie. We got that down pat now.
Oh, man. You know what I used to do to people, Deb, before we move on? I'd have a guest over at the house, and they would start talking that smack about moonshine. They start talking that smack. I go, okay, you sit right there. You just sit right there. I got something for you. And man, it was so pure. So pure. And you know what? Your moonshine that you sent us, I would hold it up and show it to people into the light. It's more crystal clear than like the light from the baby Jesus.
Well, it's even made from well water. So
it's crystal. It reflects light into the color, the rainbow. It's just absolutely incredible. Anyway, Deb, enough of the alcohol talk. You called me. What's on your mind?
Well, actually, two things. A couple weeks ago, when you had the Ouija board on, my question was the last one of the night. And I specifically, I wrote you and told you the answer, but I don't think a lot of the Fader fam know, so I thought I'd let them know. But I specifically worded the question as to what town and when would we be moving, because we'd already decided on a state. And the answer that came back was that they didn't answer that kind of question, but they could tell me that the mountains of Colorado were beautiful at all times. Well, it just so happens that Colorado is the state we've chosen, and we've chosen the western two-thirds of the state, which are mountainous. We just haven't decided which town area that we want to go to. So I was impressed. I wanted to let you know how accurate that was.
Wow.
As much as it was.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Is it crazy?
Well, but also because that particular answer was, excuse my French, bleeping direct.
Yes, it was, and even surprised her. She said,
yes.
I actually got a location.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's too cool.
And I didn't mention Colorado or anything in the question. It was just the town and when.
Yes. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
That was very cool. Very cool. Okay, the other thing is last week when you were talking post-election, and I'm not sure which night, so I don't know who the other gentleman was, but you both were talking about you didn't understand why the popular vote did not choose the president, nor what the Electoral College was all about. And so I thought I'd kind of give you a little brief history on it, that the Electoral College is made so that all votes are counted, everyone's votes are counted. Otherwise, it would always be whoever's chosen by not only a few states, but a few cities. If you want a visual concept of that, go to search election results 2016 by county. And you'll, not by state, because you'll just have this big blue blob of state, but you won't see the point I'm trying to make. And that's basically, if you didn't have the Electoral College, the president would always be chosen by those who live in cities, period. And if you look at the counties that'll come up blue are the counties that are engulfed in cities. And even in California and New York, which you think are very blue states, if you look at by county results in 2016, and he did not get the popular vote. If you look by the counties, you'll see that there's a lot of red in those states, that the blue comes up in the cities.
Mm-hmm.
And that was all designed by, and forgive me because it's been a long time since I researched this. I don't remember if it was Alexander Hamilton. It possibly could have been George Washington, but they were impressed with the Native American tribes and how they ran their councils and tribal councils. And it basically is each tribe would have a chief, and then the chiefs would go to a council with other chiefs, and they sit and they talk and they decide what was the best for their people. And then they go back and tell the people what they decided to do. And that is basically a representative republic. We don't live in a democracy. A democracy is mob rule, or whoever gets the most votes wins. We don't live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic, which is a republic, but it's a republic that is bound by law.
Yes, you are correct. You are correct, yes.
So that's the purpose of the Electoral College itself, and it doesn't always mean who has the most popular votes, but it's one way of making sure that everybody's votes count.
Now, what do you make, Deb, when it seems like every 4 years when we go through an election, there's this big momentum to get rid of the Electoral College and just go to a popular vote?
Well, I don't know, but my opinion is I think it's because people do not understand. We've heard democracy, democracy, democracy over and over and over, and everything you hear. We try to make other countries live in a democracy, and people think that's what we live in, and we don't. So I don't think, A, they even understand what the Electoral College is and how it works, and they don't understand why if you don't get the most votes, you don't win. I think basically it's kind of like the Race was saying, that the society this day is not taught a lot of civics. They're not taught a lot of history, and they have no clue. You know, their face is buried in the phone. They go about their lives, and they really don't have a clue. And I think that's why they simply don't know. You don't even know what it is. They think it's some archaic thing from the past, and they don't realize that if they give that up, they're giving away the freedom of a majority of a lot of people. I mean, it doesn't mean that everybody is Republican. No, it does. You know, it's not that at all. It's just where the population is in the cities will carry that state.
Now, is this, I realize that this time around, Joe Biden won both the Electoral College and the popular vote. And that wasn't the case in 2016, right?
No, Hillary had the popular vote.
Right. And so when was the last election, do you know, where the winner...
I think that was Obama, and he got both electoral and popular.
Obama did?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he did.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I find it interesting. And the other part, this is where I always start to scratch my head. I realize that the Electoral College is there for a fair playing field, right? So that it's fair. And I get that. But then you look at California with 55 electoral votes, and Texas has got whatever, I don't know, 28 or whatever. And New York has got, 29. I don't know. Please, everybody, save your email. I'm not much into this. But those are skewed, right? So and Florida, it doesn't mean that if you win California, you're going to win the election because it has 55. But it's not like every state only has 2, like senators, right? So that's where, right? And they've moved this around, and you would think that New York or Texas. I don't think Florida comes into play with me the same way, but I guess possibly. But you would think that New York would have more electoral votes than they do, and they don't. And Texas is a friggin' country. Texas takes you 24 hours to drive across from border to border.
I know. I've been there. I've driven it.
Right. It's crazy. And you would think that they would have more weight in the Electoral College than they do.
Well, true, but and again, even though as huge as it is, it's not as populated as you would think it would be, as big as it is. There's a lot of wide open spaces and 10,000-acre ranches.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at the King Ranch.
Yeah, that's true, except for everybody from California is moving to Texas. Man,
I hope they leave their politics behind.
I'll talk to you, Deb. Send me some moonshine. Enjoy your weekend.
Oh, take care.
Thank you, Deb. That's a good history lesson right there. And I wish I wish I studied more. I should say, I wish I remembered more. I wish I remembered more. I got to go back and refresh everything where I am at when it comes to U.S. history and where we are today. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. 747-228-2051. If you hear my voice right now and you get put on hold, don't freak out. Don't freak out. I'll get to you after the break. 747-228-2051. Thursday night, Fadernight. Tomorrow's Friday the 13th. I'll be right back.
Hey, what up, y'all? Sugar Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at jimmychurchradio.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black.
The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black Blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hello, my name is Billy Carson, and I am a best-selling author and the founder of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Together with my team, we have built an all-new conscious streaming TV platform designed with every family member in mind. If you have ever wanted to travel the world and attend lectures and workshops from your favorite speakers but weren't able to, look no further. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. There are dozens of workshops and lectures from speakers you know and love. We have also included amazing categories to assure that your consciousness is entertained and elevating on a daily basis. Amazing interviews, ancient history, ascension knowledge, wisdom teachings, documentaries, conspiracies, mysteries, health and fitness, conscious cooking, meditations, finance, yoga, and so much more. To start your free trial on any mobile device or computer, surf to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's Forbidden Knowledge with the number 4, ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Again, visit ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
The older we get, the more important it is to stay active and healthy. I exercise regularly, eat right, but recently some new aches and pains have really put a cramp in my routine. A good friend recently told me about Angioprim. She said Angioprim is the original liquid oral chelation supplement, helping people since 2003. Chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, calcium, and cholesterol in veins and arteries that may cause blockages and lead to unexplained pain. Research shows the active ingredient in Angioprim has superior oral chelation action that may help promote good cardiovascular health. After a few weeks of taking Angioprim, my pain was gone. Now I'm back and more physically active than ever. Find out more. Go to angioprim.com, ANGIOPRIM.com, or talk to a trained consultant. Call Angioprim right now, 954-882-7221. That's 954-882-7221.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fadernight. Best night in all of talk radio is Fadernight, taking your phone calls. Now, I want to remind everybody right now that last year, websites shared over 100 trillion pieces of personal data. This data is taken on users of various websites, like the website that you are on right now. You need to think about that. All right, I don't like being spied on by advertisers. I don't like being spied on by anybody, which is why I use Virtual Shield. If you want to browse the internet anonymously and securely like I do, like I am doing right now, please visit virtualshield.com/fade to black, or you can click on the link right now in the description box below this video. If you are watching me on video right now, click on the description box below and you can check out Virtual Shield VPN for free today. I just got an email during the break. I clicked on it, and apparently CNN is now calling Arizona for Joe Biden. All of the other networks around the country had called Arizona either the night of the election or shortly afterwards. CNN was the holdout, and now CNN is projecting that Joe Biden has taken Arizona. There you go. Okay, so with that, let me do this. I'm going to bring in a couple of more calls that I may not get to, but I'm putting you on hold right now. And we'll try to get to everybody tonight during this last segment. Let's go here next. I'm answering everything in order. Okay, just so you know, that's it. I answer calls in order. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, how you doing? It's Flame.
It's who?
Flame.
Flame.
Bellingham and Van Owen.
Bellingham and Van Owen.
Yeah.
Man, that is just too funny. Very close to Victory Elementary School, I might add.
Yeah, we had a talk. I called in
like 5 years ago. Yeah, but actually,
yeah, like
I do remember the phone call though. I mean, it's just too crazy that we used to. 15 years ago, we lived on Bellingham and Van Owen, which is too friggin' weird. Okay, Flame, what's on your mind?
Not much, Jimmy. I just wanted to call back and just say hi and maybe just kind of go off of what I called in about last time, but also share more information as well.
Well, the show is yours, Flame.
Okay, so based on what I called about last time, with my friend being shot by the CIA because he hacked into the CIA mainframe, and him having, getting shot, he moved to Europe because of that. It really opened my eyes. I saw some documents that were talking about, the government raping women and children, somewhat of the Pizzagate kind of stuff, and a lot of other things. I can't fully remember, but that was one of the main things, and that kind of led me on the journey to where it basically got to the point where I had a spiritual awakening, and it was profound. It was a euphoric experience. Everything that just got brighter, all the colors, all the leaves on the trees, everything. And at some point, I ended up facing the sun with my eyes closed. And in that state, little by little, an eye appeared in my mind. Basically, my third eye. I actually saw my third eye, and it just had all these amazing colors. I can't even describe which color it was. It was multicolored, but I saw, I saw the outline, and I can tell it, I can distinguish clearly what I was seeing, and it looked exactly like the eye on the back of a dollar bill. So, after that experience, there was a lot of things that I had to research and try to educate myself on, because I was looking for answers, because I had a lot more questions now. So, it was basically opening up Pandora's box.
Sure.
So, as much as I experienced all the euphoria and all the bliss and love, and I also experienced a lot of the negative energies as well. So I went through a phase where I did. It's tough. It's tough to say, but I'm gonna. Now it's the time to start saying these kind of things. I feel more comfortable. So I also did experience, for example, voices, demons, like yelling from the corner of the walls. Sometimes I would have. I'd be pulled out of my bed by some force in the middle of the night while I was sleeping. So I went down that rabbit hole pretty deep, and I experienced both things. And again, what I mentioned before when I called back a while ago, this was not drug induced. I was not on any drugs. This was not hallucination. It wasn't. This was really real. So yeah, it was a journey. And before that, there was just a lot. I was prepared for this experience in a way, because I was doing research just based off of my boy getting shot by the CIA, and seeing some of those documents got me interested in doing research. So when I went through that experience, I was a lot stronger and a lot more able to cope with it and, survive it and get back into balance with my soul, I guess you could say, and regenerate that part of me. But it went on a roller coaster, for sure.
Yeah, and it's and when not everybody goes through that experience, I think most do to some degree. But when you do go through it, no matter what, when you come out of the other side, you are able to look at the world differently. To call it an eye-opening experience, well, that's what that refers to. And now you are able to just appreciate things just a little bit differently than you did before. And you just, you not second guess, but you will take things to another level of questioning with everything, right? With absolutely everything. Right. And it doesn't matter what it is. And that's glorious, man. It's profound. And you can't go to school and get that. Sometimes it's just a gift. You do it and you are able to recognize it. And there you go, Flame. And what a great phone call.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. I'll call back some other time and share some more stories. I got a ton more that have to do with Hollywood and some personal experiences that are pretty interesting.
I look forward to it, man. Enjoy your weekend.
You too, Jimmy. Thank you so much. Take care. God bless.
Yeah, thank you, Flame. And literally calling from a street that we used to live on. That is, oh man, that is just a bizarro world to me. It's a very the valley's big. There's a lot of people that live here, but when you say things like Bellingham and Van Owen, you have to understand. It's just crazy to me. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jimmy, this is Liam in Lafayette, Louisiana.
How are you, man?
I'm good. Really enjoyed listening to Scott Walter last night.
Yeah, it was a great show.
And it was a great show, and he's always a great guest. So I had one question because I was doing other things while I was listening, and two questions. But the first one is, did Scott say that Sacagawea had bloodline back to the Templars?
Okay, that is there, or okay. Well, we don't know for sure, but
okay.
The point that he was making, though, that with the indigenous peoples of the United States, that there has been some trading of DNA. I don't know of a better way to put it. And that they are carrying a lot of the knowledge that was brought over by the Templars into North America. And I think that there is a lot of evidence to point that there was a large amount of cooperation. What he said was, and referencing back to the Masons, Lewis and Clark, when they did their journey across the United States and well, not the United States then, uncharted territory, I should say, that it was her, right? That it was her that helped them on their journey and went with them. And possibly that was because of the Knights Templar and the cooperation between the two cultures. So that's the point that he was making last night. So yeah. I think it's a very, very interesting theory, possibility, because the Knights Templar, if everything that certainly that Scott has revealed, they were here, way before Columbus, and that goes back a long, long ways. Not only to the United Kingdom with the Knights Templar, but possibly Portugal, Spain, and what was going across the Atlantic was very easy to do. That this wasn't something that happened once. That knowledge, artifacts, and things were brought all the way across into the western United States, and there is allegedly a vault there in one of the mountains that is a storage facility of things. Now, great, it's like, how do I say this, Leon, the right way? It's almost like Indiana Jones. Right? It's like a movie, so are we going to see it play out? It would be one of the greatest stories ever told and one of the greatest discoveries in all of human history if it does play out like Scott thinks it can and probably will. Like these letters that he was talking about last night with Albert Pike, and
exactly.
Yeah. And referencing Brigham Young. And what?
I had never heard that before, and I thought that was really interesting.
Yes.
The Brigham Young part and the Latter-day Saints
and Albert Pike.
I mean, it's just
right. Oh man.
Yeah.
So that was a great show last night, and then of course the second half being disclosure and UFOs and what Scott is currently going through there too as well. But it was just an amazing show.
So my second question. Jimmy, has Scott ever talked about what's going on Oak Island in Nova Scotia?
Many, many, many times. Or what is not going on Oak Island, I think would be a better way to put it. I've been interested in Oak Island since I first got the internet, right? And I'm talking about 1994, right? And I sign on and I'm poking around, and the internet at that time had hundreds of websites, right? Not millions. It's like hundreds. And I find this one-page, two-page website on Oak Island. And in the very beginning, I'd never heard of it. And so I've been following it since then, very, very closely. I find it interesting that this show, because I think that there's something to it. I just don't know what it is. But it's pretty amazing to me that this show could have gone on and continues to go on for as long as it has without anything. It's like, wow. And I've said it so many times, Leon. If I owned Oak Island, man, I would move it. I would literally dig up the whole island, move it 50 yards away, and just dredge the entire thing, because there's not much left. There's nothing left.
Right.
I don't know. There's something to it. I just don't know what it is.
Thank you very much, Jimmy.
Yeah,
and
I hope I didn't bum you out.
No, you didn't bum me out.
Okay,
keep watching them.
You never know. I mean, they could literally dig up a chest with all of William Shakespeare's original manuscripts, right? I don't know. Yeah, something could come out of the ground there eventually, and I hope that it does. I really do. I've been following Oak Island for 25 years, man. 25 years. So I hope something. I would love to see a conclusion there. Leon, enjoy the rest of your night and your weekend, man. Thank you so much.
Go back Lake Tappy.
Back at you. That's what I'm talking about. And with that, I got time for, you know what? It's like this, folks. I got time for one more call. That's it. I wonder who's up next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
You know who it is. It's the other white meat. It's the other Deb.
Oh.
I'm so jealous.
I
I
had
didn't know
no
you had
idea.
Another OG Deb.
I had no idea. Oh, she predates you by about 5 years.
Hey, show number 7. Yeah, she predates me big time.
Yeah. She's been around since the absolute very, 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 very beginning. So
well,
yeah,
I see a Deb in Twitter that I follow that I think is part of the group, but I think she goes by Debo, Debbow. Is that her?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Deb, post in Twitter and say this is me, and then we'll find out. So
yeah.
All right.
So, but I feel it's safe to say the other white meat because if she's got a southern accent and she's doing moonshine, I'm going to guess she's white.
Yeah. And it was so funny,
Going out on a limb here.
I bring up moonshine, and did you see all the tweets pop up? Hey, we got the best over here. We got the best over here. You it's like, man, this audience, man, the Fadernauts are just a trip. But she forced me. She forced me into. This is a long time ago now. This is probably 5-6 years ago. But after she sent me the moonshine, and I think she sent me like 4 mason jars of it, which lasted for years. That stuff it was just too good. But I started buying moonshine at the liquor stores and, just whatever, just buying moonshine. And the whole family, suddenly we went through like a season of drinking moonshine instead of vodka or tequila. And we went through that phase.
Did you start talking with southern accents?
I did. I started playing the banjo. Got me a banjo.
That's awesome.
Rocking chair.
Playing spoons and... the whole bit?
Yeah, I did. I got I got a squeeze box. All right, Deb, you called me. What's on your mind? Oh,
yeah.
Did you hear the news? Did you hear the news? CNN finally called for Biden, Arizona.
Yeah, whatever. Let's. Well, if we're gonna throw in
I'm just asking you if you heard the news. It's just a yes or no question.
It's a no.
Okay.
I haven't heard about it.
Yeah,
but I just saw it right after you said tomorrow is Friday the 13th. Then Trump tweeted and he said, "Get ready for super big news coming soon, major news." So.
He's conceding. He's going to concede
on
Friday the 13th.
Are you kidding me?
He's going to concede. He's going to resign.
No.
He's going to resign.
Don't make me add you to the wager list. I've already got a $100 bet going with Awakening Man on this, so don't make me add you to it because you're both going to be paying me.
But anyway, you're big roller Deb. Everybody knows about you. What's $100? What's $100?
Nothing. If I told him. He said if he won, he'd use it to to renew his membership to Fade to Black. And I said, great. And I said, if I win, I'm going to give it to a homeless person at 7-Eleven.
Oh, that's cool.
And I will. I do that. I do it all the time.
That's cool. That's cool. So. Next week, I'll let everybody know that next Thursday, next Fadernight, we are going to give away. If we can't give them all away at the same time, but I think we're going to give away around 14 memberships. We're going to give them away. Give them away. How cool is that? How cool is that?
Very cool. Very cool. So speaking of, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you called me. We've only got a minute left, and you're long-winded.
No, I'm looking at the clock. We got more than a minute. Anyway, so you told us you were going to tell us what took you out on the Queen Mary. And you never told us.
What took me out?
You said something too. You told Scott. It really took me out, and I can't talk about it, man. It was really heavy, and the whole bit.
Yeah,
I know. And I even reinforced it on Twitter with Awakening Man.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, I saw it live. I saw the whole stream. I saw it happen.
Right. Well, see, until it plays out with the Dark Zone, I don't want to give it. Everybody's just got to go and watch it on the Dark Zone. And then once it's out there, then I'll talk about it.
Give me a break, pancake. Okay, last question.
Okay.
So You had an AMA, several months ago now.
Oh, no, I got a question for you. You said earlier today in Twitter, you said, Jimmy, did you see my question?
Yeah.
What
I'm
was
about to do.
Oh, because
question was if I. Oh, sorry. What?
No, go ahead. I'm glad
months
we
ago
figured
in
that
Twitter or and you had an AMA, and my question, and I'll never forget your reaction. I said, "Okay, Jimmy, what's it like being a fringe radio sex symbol?" And you laughed so hard and blushed a little, and I said, "Good, I got him. He's laughing. This is hilarious." Blah blah blah. So from then on, I dubbed you the fringe radio sex symbol.
Okay.
So my question today was, if I have Eric Stitt design a shirt that's tasteful, it says fringe radio sex symbol, and I send it to you, will you wear it one night in the bunker?
That gets approved by Rita.
Okay.
That's got to go through Rita.
Okay.
That's got to go
because
through
it'll
Rita.
be tasteful. That's why I want Eric to do it. So there won't be anything weird or inappropriate,
Okay. All right. You run that through Rita. She signs off on all that stuff.
Okay, because I figured it would be okay because not long ago you wore a T-shirt referencing Bigfoot and saying something. I couldn't read the whole thing, but it looked like it said, you know what they say about guys who have big hands and feet, referencing something else that would be big. And I thought, okay, who can wear that? And he can wear what I want to design.
I think that was, I think I got that from Stacy. And Dan,
yeah.
I think that was a birthday present from them. They flew out from Colorado. I think.
Right.
Stacy, did I get that right? Was that from you and Dan? Maybe she'll post in Twitter. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I think so.
So if it's okay to wear that, then how come it's not okay to wear? Well, I'll do what you said. I'll ask Rita.
It goes through Rita. Something like that goes through Rita because. No, I think it's just funny.
It is funny. It's meant to be funny.
I'm 57 years old. I'm overweight, pale, and pasty, and out of shape. But hey, if I'm the fringe radio sex symbol, then so be it. There you go.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, Jimmy.
All right, there you go. All right, Deb. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.
Too. Absolutely. Take care, Fadernight.
There you go. Deb from Sacramento wrapping up the show tonight. And what a great look. Tonight is exactly why Thursday night, Fadernight, is the best night in all of talk radio. Nothing but fantastic calls and conversation tonight. And if I left people straggling on hold, I apologize. It's the way it is. I do my best. Fade to Black's executive producers, Rita Camarion. Shows produced by Hill J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vateau, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmasters, Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy. SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2020 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Everybody have a great, safe, fun, amazing weekend. Tomorrow's Friday the 13th. I'll see everybody on Monday. See ya.